Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the S-Team podcast. I'm Jack Millington, and joining me this week, as usual, as ever, is Captain Hangover, Mikey Keating.
You're right, miss.
If you haven't noticed already, people, Mikey is properly hungover right now. See what I mean? Keep it down. I mean, that's how bad he is. If he thinks he's fit enough to do a podcast, I'm not so sure. I think this week I might genuinely be able to get my points across without him interrupting. I think it's going to be brilliant.
It's like that part where Jeremy Clarkson couldn't speak. He's like,
yeah.
What?
Called Heat Magazine.
Yeah, artificial spit, wasn't it? And everything.
How are you feeling though, despite being hungover? The hangover side.
The hangover side, quite optimistic.
With the hangover?
Like a bag of shit.
Wow, okay, well, you know, this is what I've got to look forward to over the next few months. By the way, do you know what podcast we're on now, don't you?
Number 20.
Way! Well done, Mikey, you can remember. But, we've got a good podcast for you folks this week. I mean, well, I know I have got a good few things lined up. It might not be as long as usual. I might start, like, measuring it between 40 and 50 minutes. Well, no, 70 minutes, anywhere in between that time. But, the first thing I want to talk about is, you know when a death occurs, and it's, you know, depending on what discipline it's in or anything, it's generally quite upsetting, yeah. But when a death comes in motorsports, it's quite big for us. Well, for me anyway. I mean, you know, we just had the death of the French director of motorsport. He brought like F1 to France. I've forgotten.
How old was he?
This isn't the main guy, but I'll just tell you his name. And I'll just read a little bit about him once you lose my thing. Philippe Gurdjian.
I don't know.
Oh, no, I'm not showing you anything. He was, born in 1945, so I'm assuming died at the age of, 69? Yeah.
Yeah.
And he brought F1 to Malaysia, Abu Dhabi, which is a track that you love. Not just that, he competed in Le Mans as well during the 70s and 80s, and then he took charge of the French Grand Prix at Paul Ricard, and, if you can remember another one of the tracks, no, Manicourt was another one. And then he went on to organise the Spanish Grand Prix at Barcelona as well. Yeah. He died, but his really, in terms of motorsport, wasn't the biggest death this week. The biggest death, I don't know if you know I love rallying. I really do love rallying, and Bjorn Waldergard passed away this week.
Yeah.
Exactly, you're probably wondering who, because he was the first ever winner of the World Rally Championship, as it was known.
How did he die?
He died at the age of 70, and he died from cancer, sadly. But the Swede, he was the first guy to ever win the World. He took a national championship in '67, and obviously in I think it was in Stockholm as well where he did it. He recorded his first international win in 1969 when he drove. What car do you think he drove in '69 at the Monaco Rally?
Monaco Rally?
Yeah.
Well, obviously it wasn't a fucking minute.
Well, obviously four-wheel drive wasn't around back then, so it's either rear or front.
It's rear.
It is rear-wheel drive.
Mine sounds is a Renault.
It is not a Renault.
Okay.
I will give you two more guesses at the manufacturer.
Please.
Now it's a question of whether Mike can think of a manufacturer.
Is it French?
I'm not going to say, but no, I won't get it. Right, it's not France.
Okay.
So you know nationalities.
Mini?
It is not Mini. You have one more.
Audi?
No, you are wrong. He actually won in a Porsche 911. But He went on to drive in 1973 before the World Rally Championship started in a Lancia Stratos. He claimed his first win in 75 for them and then had a massive rivalry with Sandro Minari. And I'll tell you how big it came to. It was like at the Rally San Remo in 76 in Italy.
Yeah.
He was asked by his team to surrender a 4-second lead. And Bjorn, being the guy he was, did as he instructed. And still went on and won the rally anyway. He was that good. And then he went on, he joined Ford not long after, in 77. For the next 3 years he went over, drove the Escort, and won the first ever World Championship in 1979. It was not only did he drive an Escort, he drove... Not only did he drive an Escort, what car's an Escort? Ford. You fruits.
No shit, this
alright, it's German.
Audi.
No.
Volkswagen.
No. One more guess.
Ford.
It is not Porsche. He actually drove a Mercedes 450.
What?
In Safari Rally.
Why is so many people drunk when it comes to rally?
Why are you drunk when it comes to rally?
Why would you drive a Merc?
Mercs are known for reliability in South Africa. In Africa. You know that for a fact.
Yeah, the parts you could get your hands on.
Well, they were good back in the day, but they never made a rally car.
Okay, move on.
81, he went to Toyota, and then he stayed there until 1992 when he had to retire after breaking his arm in the Safari Rally. But the amazing thing is, do you know when his last ever rally win was?
Probably late 2000.
Okay, what year?
7?
No. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
2012. At the age of 68, won in the Kenyan event. I can't think it was the year. They always do a historic Safari Rally every year, and he won it. Pretty impressive for a man at the age of 68. It's a sad day though, because I really did like Waldergard. He was a good driver. Drop. He won 16 rallies in his career as well, which is a lot to be fair. But just going to try and see when his last ever win a WRC car was. Because that's pretty impressive, to be fair. I mean, you're just sitting there going, my dog playing my brain is not working.
You mean not way here?
The point exactly. Oh, his last win came in 1990. Ironically, the Safari Rally. Well,
same when he broke his arm up.
What? Yeah, same when he broke his arm.
Yeah, he's still broke.
No. His last when he broke his arm was 92. His last win was 2 years before that. In the WRC anyway.
Oh.
Now, sad day, but I obviously pay my tribute not just to him and his family, but to the rally world, because that's a big day for rallying. Almost as big as when McRae and Burns went. But Mikey's just completely gone. Have you heard about the kid who got Wow! How the hell did you know I was going to say that?
He sort of talking about it where.
Ah, okay.
The minute you said, hey, have you heard about the kid? I'm home, it's going to take the kid off in the car on the do you know why they're trying to get him to come back?
No, they found the kid.
Fuck off, they found him.
They found the kid in Spain. They've heard him to being arrested, and Ashire King, which is the kid, has been taken to a hospital in Malaga. They found him. He's...
What did you find him?
I'm just trying to look. Well, it said Malaga, so I'm assuming there or thereabouts. Said well, there's a YouTube video apparently out at the minute of his father defending their actions about why they took him out of the hospital. And he states that a proton beam is much better for children with brain cancer. Now, it is, in one way, but it's more dangerous in another, because the kid's so young. I mean, how do you feel about all this, Mike? Because, I mean, you know, I know how I can understand both sides of the argument, but it was too much of a risk to take him out of the hospital, I reckon. He's safe now, but he was safe before, yeah. But I can understand why they did it. That I can understand. Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Yeah. My personal opinion on my friend.
Well, I wasn't expecting him over the road to give me an opinion. I was asking you. You're alright, Mike.
I'd probably say it's me agree.
Yeah.
With both sides.
Yeah, I do.
Don't get me wrong, I understand. It's your kid. You know, one thing is you never want to be buried with your kids.
No, you don't.
It's sort of like, it stays with you.
Yeah, it does.
You know, people have to do it.
Yeah, I have
It's
to.
not nice, but I understand, but this, I understand this guy's literally put his kid first. He's not asked, he put his kid first, and he wants to make sure he's okay.
He gets the best treatment.
Exactly. But,
They are making proton beams. It's they fire high energy particles into the brain to help cure the tumour.
Yeah.
But they're going to make it available in the UK, but not for another 4 years. So I think I can, the kid might not have 4 years. That might be why. I haven't watched the video, you see, so I'm not sure.
A lot can happen in 4 years.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I mean, in 4 years, let's just put it this way.
Next year we vote for a new government.
Yeah. 4 years ago, we were embarking on a campaign for the World Cup. 2 years ago, we were at the flipping Olympics. That's how quickly time moves on.
I'm not going to lie to you right now. Our football, our national team.
We're not talking about football, we're talking about football.
Shite.
I know, but we're not talking about football. Let's talk about what's actually going on. But that's what I'm saying. A lot can happen.
But to me, put my hand out for the guy. You know what I mean? I'd have to go, I understand you've done everything you can. The kid was safe at the hospital. You know what I mean? So, it's one of them, you can't say it's the positives or the negatives or the negatives or the positives. It's a bit of a domino effect, as you should say. Just get the positive out of it, you gotta look at the negatives and do. Alright, right. Exactly.
I think we can try and interpret that
Basically,
in some way.
Yeah, we'll just put subtitles.
I can't be bothered typing this bullcrap in. But if we were to come down to it, if you were in the same situation, would you keep the kid in hospital or would you take him to Spain? Keep the kid in the hospital. That's what it comes down to. I can understand why I did it, but it was not the right thing to do.
I'd keep him in the hospital because I fucking hate hospitals. It's the most like fucking hospitals. The last thing I want to do, times of pleasure, right? I'm not even joking. I remember every school got so much money to be redecorated for year 8, year 9. Use Park Island, you've got these fucking equipment and everything. You turn up to what they did to ours. Bit of fucking green paint. I'm not even joking. The walls, in the newer block, used to be this, by any chance is that an orange one?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? The green, like a mint
What's it got to do with a kid in hospital, though?
Like, doing you... It sounds a bit over the top, a bit weird, a bit off the subject, like. Do you know if you smell stuff? See if you smell like disinfectant.
Are you trying to say the paint smell like hospital wards? Yeah, okay. That I can that I can understand.
Once you get used to it, sitting in a hot, I must have spent it 2 years after. Only like 2 or 3 years over my life. It's just cool, thinking. I remember it was all nice, stone walls and stuff. That's alright. Yeah, you have no fucking car tokens or anything. But here it comes to the island. The wall, right? Alright.
Anyway.
Someone painted it green. And it was literally like, we've opened this can of Dulux when, fuck it, give me that disinfectant. Go. And just poured a whole bottle of disinfectant into this paint. Shook it about a bit. Anyway,
so if you want a job on the ST,
it's like they shook the can about, left it for a bit, opened it up, the paint down. It smells just so good. All we probably got off the back of the store. I will take the back of it to the doctor there afterwards.
Okay.
But
let's just move away from your school.
And you get fucking new treadmills and everything. I'm sitting there, like, you know what we have to wear for the gym? We have to pay to you on the fucking road.
Oh, yeah.
£1.50 for fucking 10-20 minutes. Like, you're wrong bastards. You just need to go in and go 50p, you're in here. Like, I'm alright, I'll pay that for like a day. The thing is, I don't know what they do. My gym was fucking, what's it called?
Let's just move on from this rather disturbing story of our schools. And we're coming to the end of a technological service that's been around since the Stone Ages. I mean, literally, Julius Caesar's used it. You know, flipping Mozart. They've all used it. MSN Messenger is about to end. And it's a big day, really.
What? So we've got a service like MSN?
Yeah. Oh. Well, they had it. But, do you remember MSN Messenger? Everyone remembers MSN Messenger. Yeah.
I remember going down around to our Percy's.
Even the first few years of high school, everyone used MSN as well. Like, you go on MSN to play those games.
I used to use it in college.
Yeah.
Used to talk to people. What made me laugh the most is I remember going down to Albert and James's once.
Yeah.
And we're laughing and joking and all that. And I walked in and he was talking to Matthew. I was like,
yeah.
It's alright, right? We were talking. And then like a second one opened and it was like an hour and all that. Like years ago, and it must have been like 4 different like group chat. I was just sitting there.
The thing is, though, it was like they had all those sort of games. And you know, and it's sad, really, because Windows Live Messenger was what it eventually became from MSN. It still had 330 million users as of 5 years ago. But you know what pushed it down?
Facebook.
No.
Skype.
Those numbers went down. I don't know what they went down to, but Skype rose to nearly 300 million by 2012. It's probably like double that now, to be brutally honest.
Yeah. Hey,
including ourselves. Service went to China. It's still getting used in China, actually. China are going to be the last people who get to use it. MSN Messenger. And it's a shame, really. No, they are, says it.
No, but big about it.
Oh yeah, they'll be the first new creator. They'll get one last goodbye message to type in, send it to MSN, and they'll be just like, "What's going on?
Yeah.
No!"
Get him, Lenny.
Don't get him, kid.
Don't get
But the thing with MSN though is, you know, it spawned Facebook chat, Twitter's chat, Snapchat, Skype, Google Plus, Instagram, even MySpace, which hardly any. I don't know if people still use MySpace, but
Maybe after that.
From Bebo.
What made me laugh the most? When I was in
I
school,
never understood
we
that.
was at year 7, so have you got Bebo? It's like the
Got
mate.
Bebo,
Yeah,
mate.
you hear him.
Got Bebo.
And I remember once, like, randomly, like, you in year 9, and someone went, you know, have you got Bebo? You just saying, yeah. I was like, yeah. Some lad, this other lad just turned around, Bebo's for faggots. Facebook's the way to go.
Facebook crack anyway.
At the time, I didn't have Facebook.
No.
So I was like, no, I wasn't big on it. Oh, that's so good. Then, yeah, I was saying with Twitter, you like, go ahead, just jump on Twitter, you like it.
Yeah, I got you into that.
Look at me now, 24 or something.
24/7. More like.
I wish I had more than 20 now.
It's a shame though with Messenger going, because I always kind of liked it.
Hey,
I never had it, but I
the
always
old's
liked it.
got to go for the new to rise.
Yeah, they did.
You
Now,
need to do a fucking shocking loading times on the laptop. Who knows Live Messenger has an update for the 4th millionth time? Fuck off. I deleted it last time and saw it work its way back onto the laptop.
Windows Live Messenger needs friends.
And we selected you. Wow.
Tell me your problem.
Where do I start? Time to get the cat on.
Windows Live Messengers, that must be the reason. It must have started so because you and just went, oh, I can't be bothered with this. Shut me down.
Okay, talking about it. Fuck that. Go on.
I'm trying to, but I've got Mao, and it's really hard.
Shout out to Shawnee Riley.
Yeah.
A good little night out last night, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, you're the reason why Mikey is currently unfit for purpose.
Why you condom? You always.
Yeah, but more so than usual.
At least usually I have a fair point when it comes to something.
But you have no point when it comes to this today.
Exactly.
Now I'm going to move on.
You know, I'm thinking of it as a try. Instead of peeling the package away, I use the teeth just to
Today is a very special birthday for someone. Now,
Well, definitely not fucking me.
definitely not you. No. Now, have you ever heard of a woman
Well, it's called...
by the name, let me finish, by the name of Leandra Becerra Lumbreras?
I think I've heard of it before.
No, you haven't. Oh, you might have done, actually. Now, she celebrates her birthday today, and do you know what's big about it?
It's a birthday.
Not just that, but she sets a new record.
Counter.
No. She becomes the oldest person to have ever lived today.
216,
No.
120 up.
Nope.
All there. 140.
No, don't be flipping stupid.
130.
A little bit less.
125.
127. 120. Funnily enough, she's from Mexico, actually. But that will lead on to something else in a minute. Do you know what she claims is credit to longevity? You always hear this from people who live that long, but they always say something.
Do you get a card off the Queen?
You have to send off for it, you know.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah,
You pay taxpayers and like all this money.
You have to send off for it.
Oh, fuck that.
But she claims chocolate to be living for so long. So you'll be living to 192 when the PlayStation 28 comes out.
Yeah, the PlayStation 2008.
But,
I remember back in the day with the PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. I lost track after 2.
John, this is amazing. She was born on the 31st of August 1887. Wait, no, hang on. Someone's done a miss. No, they haven't done a mistake. Meaning she was 27 at the beginning of World War One, and 82 when the first man set foot on the moon. It's amazing, man. They had that part of her secret is keeping busy. She was always a woman who thought she was still sewing and weaving until about 2 years ago. her granddaughter, who's 43, she's never ceased to be active, apparently. This is just to claim just how old she is. She fought in the Mexican Revolution from 1910 to 17 as part of the leader of the Adelitas, a group of women who went with their husbands to battle.
Well,
Do you know what makes it even more... Although there is some sadness with her life, because she's lived for so long that she's already buried 5 children and several of her 20 grandchildren, the last of whom died at the age of 90. She's also, this is even more amazing, she's also got 73 great-grandchildren and 55 great-great-grandchildren. Authorities in Mexico are trying to provide her with a new birth certificate after she lost her original 40 years ago. That's amazing, that, isn't it? At the age of 127. I wouldn't want to live that long, but that is impressive.
as long as I get to 69.
No! Really, Mike?
No,
You're measurable of maturity.
No, I'm saying that not in a fucking day, I'm just generally saying if I can get to 69, I'll be top class with that. Unless I get a Mustang and roll it, or a Corvette and put it into a ditch.
I wondered if...
Ditches like Corvettes like ditches.
Being a Mexican, I wonder if she ever... I wonder how many enchiladas she ate through her life.
That's quite stereotypical.
No, it's not, because it's a cracking segue to lead into my next story. Genuinely about enchilada. That was good, because you didn't even know. Now, Mike, as we know, me and you can eat for them. So
well, I wouldn't exactly say.
Do you think we could eat the world's biggest enchilada that was made 2 days ago? Have a guess how big it is.
2.5 thousand miles wide.
2.5 thousand miles. That's not even a unit.
Said that. It's like Luke helicopters having to bring it in. Come on, mate, drop it down there. Just drop it in the Mersey. You can float. So jump on that, fella.
So go on, have a guess.
Probably. What are we working in millimeters?
We're working. We're not miles. Let's say meters.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, Mexico also has the world's biggest record for the biggest sandwich. Just wanted to say that as well.
Go for it, that's it.
My name is Mikey Keating. I have the world's biggest enchilada and I shall challenge it. Over 7 weeks. So go on, have a guess how big you think it is.
Well, depending on the size, you've got to take into account.
Well, I'm just talking length here.
Yeah, but I'm thinking this in general. If it's a big, so you can't have it small, it has to be a reasonable size.
It has to be quite a big size for it to even small itself.
Just to give me, this is just a bit of a question about it. How was it delivered?
I don't know.
How was it made? Your size,
I can't really say. But just imagine.
Was it made in whole? Was it made in sections?
It was made in sections. There's no flipping oven big enough to do something like that.
Okay. So we're looking about the average size of the oven. Well, same size as a 19-inch screen. Same size?
So you're saying 19 inches is how big this enchilada is?
No, what I'm trying to explain is 19 inches. That sort of size made for each one. If you're saying it's in sections, you've got to take into account how many sections.
I don't know.
50 inches.
Saying 50 inches?
Yeah.
I'm so far now, do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
The Mexican capital, obviously Mexico City, has broken its own record with an, wait for it, 85 metre long enchilada.
That's one big fucking taco.
That's one lunch at Kirk's, that, mate. I'll take that on.
Yeah. So that's
85 metres though, jeez.
Hey, bet you what's that for? How much do you reckon that fella was on for fucking 85?
I mean, the only other thing I've ever seen that's like as big as that is the people in Wisconsin who made that ice cream. I think it was about £3,000 worth of ice cream as just one scoop.
Just a challenge or something.
It's amazing, that 85 metres long. I mean, me and you could each do that in about 10 minutes, but...
10 minutes, that's if we're fucking long.
That's if we're on, isn't it? I
Do
mean,
us a favour, babe. Get me going.
It's Mikey can't even get up, I've got to fetch his stuff, people. It's like, you're the guest, Mike, you should be doing this.
Yeah, fuck. I'm the fucking babe.
Well, no.
You're the person. Fuck that.
Actually, and you know what, it's quite funny how well done this is, because speaking of food, we know how times are tough. I mean, really tough in some places, especially in Scotland right now, the way things are going. And people are coming up with ideas to try and save money, such as vouchers and coupons and stuff like that. You know what I'm on about, don't you? And discounts and stuff.
Oh.
Flipping really?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was listening at first.
However, there's a Scottish guy who to me is a bit of a legend here. And he saves himself £200 on food, drink, taxis. Have a guess how he does this.
Well, with the taxi, I'm guessing he uses his legs.
Nope.
He walks. Nope. He shifts around here, Scotland.
I can tell you how he does it.
Devil.
He uses a ginger discount card. I'm not even joking. Look at that.
Right.
What an absolute legend. And don't know what happened there. I didn't even press anything, but this guy's...
You've been hacked,
His
lads.
name-
You've been hacked.
Richard McRae was given a laminated card as a gift for his 30th birthday as a joke by a friend. But shopkeepers and staff have been agreeing to take money off his stuff. Genuinely.
You're fucking joking.
That is the best idea. I'm going to come up with an Afro discount card.
I'm gonna come up with a fucking sexy bathroom.
Decline!
Virgin one. Yeah, we'll give him a couple of quid off, yeah. So. Oh, that's quite cool, that's really.
Oh, that's apparently I gave the guy who was one of the bartenders, I gave him the same discount that we would for students. I genuinely think it's not even just for ginger people. Anyone who's seen it work always asks for one. Beer discount cards as well. So Mikey and I do go full on Hamish beard and all that. But
hey, just because I had the odd drink.
someone went to the View Cinema. He went to the View Cinema and still gave him a discount.
Oh, you prick, I wanted that one. You fucking asshole.
But that's impressive, that, to be honest. Imagine that. Imagine having a...
Hey, taking this girl on a date. Yeah.
I'll use me ginger discount
Oh,
card.
sorry, it's this week discount card. You ain't like this, you know, the forces one, so. What's the fucking ginger discount? Oh, yeah, so I'll take a couple of quid after that.
I think this is really impressive, to be honest. I mean, genuinely, I really like this. I think we should come up with tall people discount cards. But you can do it in other ways. You could like trick, like chavs, into going, oh, get a chav discount card, mate. And it said it adds an extra 50% on top of the price. Why is this can of Coke £24.50? Ah, there you go, lad. Stop knocking me trying.
Hey, why is that 40 quid now? It's a special can.
What's it got in it? It's got its own Uzi. I'll take that, mate, so I can go round and kill that mess, mate.
Nah, mate, it's a toy called Uzi.
I'll have that as well. Does it shoot bullets?
No.
Shoot heads, mate.
I've got a funny one for you. It's a random topic, like when we're on the American...
Oh, that's the point, actually. America, round of applause, I haven't actually done anything fucked up this week. I mean, genuinely messed up, they haven't done anything.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
I do have gaming news though, but I'll let you do your thing now.
Yeah.
I'll let you put it in.
Gun ho, America. Gun ho.
So as I was saying before, if you want a job on the S-Team podcast, feel free to write in
thesteam@gmail.com.uk.
Just put a little line in saying, "Why is this shot? Why is baby?" Yeah.
What?
An M60 or something like that.
Oh, dude, that's alright, mate. Just someone going past me, I was there. Bum, 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 bum.
Get down! So you were saying?
Do you Coca-Cola?
Mm-hmm.
Well, who doesn't know Coca-Cola? One of the biggest soft drink brands in the world.
The big something.
That's what I think the biggest. I just said that. The biggest. Basically, did you know during World War II, or before World War II, they had Coca-Cola in Germany? Like one of the ones for Zora. And did you know they ran out of supplies during the war because they couldn't get hold of them because Coca-Cola being American. So do you know what they did?
Yeah.
They took little bits of bobs out and whatever they could find in the fields and stuff, and they put it all together in a drink, mixed it into what they called it.
Fanta? Yeah.
And do you know what makes it laugh the most?
They must have completely messed up the formula then, because Coca-Cola and Fanta taste so much different.
Yeah, it tastes so much different, but they took bits that they could get, that they had loads of, that's the way they were making it.
Yeah.
And but what it was it was just something random. Like I was watching like this little thing, 5 scariest things about it and stuff. Well, about Coca-Cola, this little bits of what I was kind of.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. Like this one on Disney, like in Japan, they actually had a Disney park built. 2 weeks before it was finished. You just turn around,
No what?
You can't open it. Partly the government or something like that, or health safety inspector or something like that, and now it's just abandoned.
Yeah, a lot of things are in Japan.
It's been abandoned since '91. And once you
done. Now,
I actually don't know if you can get here. It's not where you can take the hill. It's where you can take the hill, get back up. Then really hard, isn't it? Off that one.
No, actually, that's just off the. I've read something.
No, it's for Xbox. That's the thing for it, though. That's.
You know that little startup noise? That's PlayStation. I know because I'm looking at it. But I've got some gaming news now.
Oh, yeah.
I've spoke a little bit
Jack
about...
Millington in the game.
And it becomes the most successful selling franchise of all time. Over 4 billion it's sold.
Mikey Keating in the game.
One sold.
Summer week. And it was Mikey.
Mikey.
Mikey, that's good, though.
Oh, then it's a different Blockbuster, but I don't think it was there. Now, obviously, I've spoke about The Order a little bit. 1886, which is funny enough, that woman we were talking about before is older than when this game set. But the demo came out not so long ago, and there's a couple of good things about it and a couple of bad things about it. Firstly, graphically, it is supposed to be one of the most impressive visual shooters of all time, from what I've been told. And this is coming from a couple of people I know, and as well as the fact that IGN have said exactly the same thing. However,
they've just got it off IGN.
No, because they've actually played it. Even everyone in the beta was saying the same thing. But there's always a downside of games like this. You can't. It's like Infamous in the same way. It's a very good-looking game, but the gameplay itself is a bit. I would say bad, but not great.
Shit.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you think?
No, I'm doing it as part of the downside thing. The gameplay, it's not that a bad thing, it's like, you know how they've had the people have been saying the gameplay itself is like quite, They use it, do you remember, you played Gears of War, didn't you?
Yeah.
Do you know how they get into cover in Gears of War? It's similar to that, so that's not really a problem.
Yeah.
That's always been fine.
As long as you don't go through the fucking corner.
And you know when you blew someone's head off or something,
Yeah.
you always felt good that you killed someone or something, didn't you? It always looked impressive as well when every time you shot the gun you could feel the force feedback from the controller and everything. Okay, maybe that was just another
What are
game.
you on about?
But you know when you shot someone on
you
gears?
could set it, but I didn't have it. But like, the sound gave you that feel of okay, you.
Yeah. Do you know what the order feels like? Apparently, when you shoot someone, it feels like you're shooting them, but with a prop gun, and that is a shame. That is, I mean, I'm looking through it here. It's like one of the main guns is a machine gun that also fired off explosive flares. But you know when you got it the way it is back then, you had to ignite the explosive, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's like people are saying the effect of it doesn't feel like you're actually doing it. You know how like you play some games, like even COD to a degree as well, does the same. When you're shooting it, it feels like you're actually, you feel like you're doing it. Whereas this just doesn't feel like.
Thing
And
is,
it does let it.
the only game I know that you feel like you're doing is the likes of Battlefield and GTA, that kind of thing.
They also said about the rifle that you get to use. It's like they found that you could burst fire an entire clip at the enemy, which is standing across the street, but still be able to miss every single bullet.
You feel.
No, whilst actually aiming at them. Which means the gameplay physics are off. So it means to actually hit them, I imagine, you'd fire slightly off them. So it's like lag of COD in a way when you shoot away from it, but it actually hits them.
So the funniest one I think I've seen. Yeah, like it was a video. It was like ages ago. This kid like, oh, there's lag on this. He's like playing COD with his mate on his Xbox. Like they were both on the same Xbox. Like, oh, there's a bit of lag in this video. How the fuck can it lag? It's only me and you. You know what I mean? There's lag.
Do you know what else is a problem with?
Yeah.
Is when you're walking round and you're in like third person, it's how close the camera is to the person. It's not like,
Yeah.
have you ever played Bloodborne? Bloodborne does it really close, but it works. This doesn't work. It feels like it's enshrouding the whole thing, and like not enough distance. You know what you get then? When we play racing games, we've got an outside view.
Yeah.
There's some that are too close, aren't there?
Yeah,
It's like this, but in terms of the order.
FPS.
FPS, yeah, something. Needed that one. But, it's a shame, really, because thought there was a chance that game could be really good. But if the whole mechanics are off, I mean, geez, it's gonna have a big. I've got a gaming delay as well.
Right. Don't tell us the crew.
It is not the crew. The crew is firm.
Unity.
It is Unity. Now, it's still coming out this year, and it's still coming out in November. Well, it's coming out in November, rather. Now, it's only being pushed back by 2 weeks. It's coming out on November 13th in the UK. It's coming out in America on the 11th. But America's always released their games on a Tuesday. In Europe, we release it on a Thursday. It's just the way we do it.
No, we don't.
We do. A lot of games come out. FIFA comes out on a Thursday.
That's FIFA.
FIFA's coming out on a Thursday.
Yeah.
GTA came out on a Thursday. Gran Turismo 6 came out on a Thursday in the order. A lot of games do come out on Thursday.
PlayStation 4 ain't coming out on a fucking...
No, it's already out. But
No,
do you know what makes it really bad? In terms of week. You know how we had a plan of how to do games?
Yeah.
And we had time to do it? That's now completely blown out the window. Because you know what other games come out in that week? You got the Halo Master Chief Edition. Obviously PES, but I don't know really. I mean, PES looks fine. Lego Batman, so that's a big thing for you. And The Crew comes out on the same week. Oh, it's going to be so hard.
I'd make 100 quid down this week.
Oh, it's going to be so hard. And to make it even more complicated, Assassin's Creed Rogue comes out on the same day.
There's 170 quid.
No, where are you getting 170 from?
Because I'll probably need to get some stuff on there. Yeah, thingy points.
Thingy points?
like I've pointed out the membership thing for PSN.
Well, you're getting that on the day.
No,
Okay. That's a good point.
You get like, I think you get a bit. Well, actually, I think the PSN, what you got to pay for is like the market kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's alright because I'm not going to really be using.
But it's you're basically 140 quid. That well, not me. I'm a little bit less, but 140 quid. That well, I'm not going to get Rogue until next year, so that's
I'll
fine.
get Rogue. Just like for a bit. If I get bored of the PS4 for a bit, I can just jump on that more since we're keeping the 360. I'm getting rid of.
Likewise, I'm keeping my PS3.
I'm getting rid of some games.
Right.
But the Master Chief Edition is definite. You get it.
Well, I can't because it's thingy, isn't it?
Yeah. Leave it down.
But as I was saying, one last piece of gaming news before we close the podcast, because that is genuinely it for this week. GTA 5, as we know, has come to PS4. And today, because we know the music in it's good,
Yeah.
but there's almost like not enough, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Once you start playing it for like weeks on end, you start to just spot every single song that's on there, and almost to the point where you know what song's going to come next.
Oh.
Well, no, it just happens. And as we know, so far GTA 5 are bringing out updated visuals, better draw distances, more on-screen characters, and now they're adding more music.
Can I just say something?
Genuinely adding more music.
Can they add decent servers this time?
Well, it'll be on PS4, so yeah.
You were saying when it came out originally.
But the amount of people that were on it, you can understand that.
What annoyed me the most, right, is to know, was it like the discs? Seriously, have pissed me off the most. You've got it so easy on PS3. When I got it for the Xbox, it was 2 discs, and every so often, oh, you're doing but you just feel like keeping shit down somewhere. Like, literally, you'd be sitting there, I'd be like doing like halfway through a mission, because we're still trying to do the fucking game. It's like 150 million. Yeah, you have to buy the food, because I don't have to get it. Even you assassin contracting, you've got to it's not going up for it. But basically, every time I go to the bank job, it's going all that. The GTA.
Yeah.
The last bank job. Big one.
It's not really a spoiler, to be honest. The game's been out for so long now.
Yeah, but for people that haven't played it.
You realise it's been out for a year.
Yes, yeah, so it's a big one. It's like, I'll be doing that, I'll get all the way, I'll be running doing the escape as well, it just stops. And it just says, such and such signed out for Xbox Live. And here comes the boom, 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 wow, it's loading. And he goes, oh, your account seems to have logged out, or there was corrupted data. And you can't delete a section, because I've tried that before. You've got to delete the whole thing, and then re-download it. I just smart, mate. Honestly, yeah, I just can't be arsed with Xboxes if it's going to be like that. It's a game. Yeah, fine.
But I'm glad they're adding some new music in. I haven't got a really problem with that. Every channel's getting some new stuff added in.
Are you getting it?
If they do a thing where they trade in, yes.
If they do trade in.
If they do a trade in, I think everyone will. And the joys of that is that you get to replay it again.
If you say, here you go, you can trade it in, all you gotta pay is like 15 quid.
Well, yeah, I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
15, 20 quid, no.
Just one problem. If I can find out where it is. I can't see it. Ah, there we go. Release date. October the 1st. When does FIFA come out?
September.
26. 4 days. 4 days in September.
We'll get FIFA straight away.
I am. Because you got to. Because it's FIFA. But yeah, that's... What?
Which one are you getting?
The Ultimate Team.
Sorry, the same one you criticised.
The same one that I criticised, yes.
Yes, so, why the fuck would you play an extra further with Messi for 5 games?
That is what, that I don't see.
Where do you fucking come on Uncle every time fucking week?
No, listen to me. Well done, Mike. Well done there. The mic is just dropped on the floor. But the thing is, it is stupid all that. But you get you get packs. I don't see the point in messing, and I probably won't use them until I get to the higher divisions. But you know, I got it because it's only a $5 more, and I just thought, you know, rather than having to pay all my hard-earned coins, if you get 2 gold packs, Team of the Season race.
I would just ask the thing, difficulty is
Skintiest Max Torius. The thing is, though, I was working it out. You said I won't say your payday because that wouldn't be right. But I was looking at your payday and in relation to FIFA, and yours is after it comes out.
I know. Well, I should have got paid a bit more this month because of the
Yeah.
So it was like, no.
One of them slow motion ones.
So it's literally like thingies or Fast and Furious 1.
Yeah.
It's like, no, Monica!
Adrian!
Yeah. No, but it's like doing his driving and like Brian goes past him and he goes, no! Monica, instead it was, no! Payday!
You just see it just floating away. But does my wallet go ching ching?
Ooh, good go in there. Ching ching.
But
Shabby.
I have nothing else, so that's what we're going to end on. If you want to follow Mikey on Twitter, follow Mikey Keating XD. If you want to follow me, follow me at JackTM53. If you want to follow Matty Morris, you can follow him in the street.
Facebook it, Matty Morris.
You probably won't enjoy that. He's going to get a load of friend requests off people he won't know.
Check our course at Ali.
What's his YouTube channel again?
Scotty. Whittle Dash Down. No, he asked. Mate,
It's a strange name for a channel. Whittle Dash Coms.
Well, he's from the Whittle.
Yeah.
That's what a dash on. What else we do?
What's a Dash Com?
No, but,
yeah, I know. I was thinking
I
maybe
was some of the videos anyway, so yeah.
So you actually get to see one of us for once, not me.
You don't get to see me.
But
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks very much for listening, and we've been the S Team.